Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Feels like we talk about the NFL draft for so long, and then 3 days in and out, and we are done. So we are officially through the NFL draft. And with that, it is a great Sunday evening. Hopefully everybody is staying dry, staying safe out there with the rain today on a Sunday. Drive in today may not have been the safest because other people don't know how to drive in rain, but that's a story for maybe a later time in the show or a different time later on another episode. This is the voice of land, as our friend Bob in Millersburg told you at the start of the show. We want to thank him again for doing the new open for the show. My name is Kevin Arnold. I'm one of your hosts. As always, every single week, I'm joined across the table by Always Positive Jay, and on the other side of a TV screen, since we will have a guest tonight, we need to be able to see our guest and still look at the camera as if we're looking at them instead of looking to our other side where the TV's behind us, and then it looks like, we're looking away at whatever else is going on, and it's very distracting. Just on the other side, it is Peter Tellep, our producer extraordinaire, or just simply our AI system.
I don't really exist.
You don't
in
exist.
a real form, so it's all right.
I mean,
the time when I talk about him, you see me look around. I'm still looking to find this guy. I'm like, where is he?
Where is audio? So we are brought to you by Vector Technical. They will get the right person in the right job the first time. And of course, this is part of our show, is part of the Big Play Network. We are so honored and privileged to be a part of the Big Play Network every single week. So we want to thank Big Play Dave and everybody at Big Play for welcoming us every single week to their network. And of course, LPV Productions providing all of the setup that you see on the show. Bit of a rough start, but hey, it was a bit of a rough start, I guess, to the NFL draft because we didn't know what to do on night one of the NFL draft. Browns didn't have a first-round pick this year because they traded that and next year's first rounder and the year after that and plenty more picks for Deshaun Watson, and then gave him $230 million guaranteed. In football sense, he was your first-round pick for the next 3 years. Out off the field, we can still talk about that. So we need to talk about the draft, though, Jay. And, I guess first off, how much of it did you actually watch? Because we talked last week, like, how excited are you? And I think, we had votes in our poll, and like 40% of people didn't care this year.
Yeah.
The draft. Like, how much of the first round or even all 3 days did you actually watch?
First round, I got up to, I think, the last Ohio State when Olave was the last receiver taken.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell asleep on my couch. I'm not going to lie. The interest in first round was zero almost. And I love the draft. I like to watch the reactions of the family and all that. But yeah, after the Ohio State guys went, I was like, all right, kind of getting sleepy here. And then like a commercial hit, and I was just like out sleeping.
Well, and that's the thing, because as the draft goes on, all the insiders are already tipping picks. Now, it doesn't happen you're not as far ahead with the tipping of picks or the insiders knowing who the pick is on night one as you are night two and even day 3, when it doesn't even matter. They're telling all the behind the scenes stories of the draft. And they got, I was watching NFL Network, and Rachel Bonetta, who's on there now, switched over from Fox. She was playing some sort of like funny detective and like playing clips of coaches and GMs on the phone that they've used from teams in the past, calling their draft picks. And like, she's like doing like this funny bit. So like, it's all about that on day 3. But still, like, the draft is still so far ahead on Twitter than it is on TV because it's the spectacular. You got 3 different networks doing it: ABC, ESPN, NFL Network. It's just, it's a whole big spectacular. So, it's hard to stay in it when you know that your team doesn't have a pick. Peter, how much did you guys watch or audio, wherever you are? How much of it did you guys watch at the Tellep household?
We watched a little bit of the first round, and then really, Jacob was on his phone watching it. We were kind of keeping an eye on it, but I'm not a huge draft fan. I mean, I will kind of pay attention to where, what's going on. I'd like to see like what happens with Ohio State players, obviously where they go, if the Browns are in a big need. And that's what was really weird about this year is I didn't feel like we had like huge needs. We weren't looking. We didn't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
We've got, an insane duo at running back and a lot of depth there too.
Which I was shocked when we ended up taking
another one. Yeah, I was too. But it was. I did keep an eye on it, and it was. I was just curious to see where some people were going, but I thought it was interesting how many defensive and offensive linemen went in way up at the top. Where's the first quarterback was
number 20. It was the latest quarterback taken since 1997.
So that was, and it was nice to see the Ohio State boys come in there.
Who was the first quarterback? Kenny throws
Pickett.
A lot of Pickens. Something like that.
Easy. All right, listen. Okay,
we'll
all I know is Pickens to Pickens picked is going to happen from the Ward.
All right. I'll say this. I love that the rivalry is back. And, there's that Pony Express guy that does radio in Pittsburgh. I forget what his full name is, but, he does stuff in Pittsburgh, and there's been back and forth between him and Ken Carman and some of the other media personalities here in Cleveland. Fans going back and forth, but there's more actual, proof on the field that both teams can actually go win the game. And it's not like fans are just trying to keep the rivalry alive as Pittsburgh beats our ass every single year. Now, got beat a couple times last year by them. So I understand the back and forth, and it's fun to do. The people that are just assuming that Kenny Pickett is not going to be good because I know he has the small hands. I know he fumbled a lot. That's an issue that they're going to have to correct. But as much as I hate Pittsburgh, and Peter, I've said that many times, and I've been very adamant. I hate Pittsburgh. As a Cleveland fan, I hate Pittsburgh. It's because of how good they are, and I respect how good they are and how good their organization is.
Well, I'm pretty sure as a whole show, we hate Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I literally will not wear anything black and yellow. Just won't wear it.
Right. I
have one shirt that's yellow, and it's a total different shade of the yellow. I can't stand them either.
Jacob actually asked me this week, he goes, who do you hate more, the Steelers or the Ravens?
Oh, the Ravens.
And I said, well, and to me, it's
Believe
oh, wow. And I'd have to say at this point, it's the Ravens.
They stole my Super Bowl. I'm still salty about that. Because you straight up stole my Super Bowl. I'm never letting that go.
That was the Cleveland Browns that was being built. And
they took our culture and our Super Bowl, Kevin.
And a former tight end for the team, Ozzie Newsome, taking control of that team. That's where the culture, that's one of the guys that helped build that culture over there. And then you get guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and
so on and so on.
Yes, I'm not going to go down the history. Now, I will say I will wear some black and gold because I am a Columbus Crew fan. I'm a soccer guy. I even tweeted out today that I may just turn my Twitter account into reposting spectacular goals and saves in soccer, because every other sports conversation, whether it's especially football, but basketball, baseball in Cleveland, Twitter is just, it's such a fake place at this point. And then the Spaces came in and made it even more fake. So I'm not really into those spaces unless it's done the right way and you actually allow other people listening to come in and talk, and not, I'm just raising my hand the whole time, but well, this person's just going to talk the whole time. So I guess
respect the other people's different opinions.
Yes. So. And actually having a conversation about it. So
but what's your point with Pickens? Because I was picking on him.
So he went to Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season. There's always the first time for everything, but until I see it, I can't believe that they're not going to be good. Even 9-8. Pittsburgh has been good under Mike Tomlin because that culture is established. Look at the Browns from 2020 to 2021. I was saying that a foundation of a culture was being built, but they didn't do a good enough job to continue adding pieces to truly build and sustain a culture here in Cleveland. That this front office, this organization needs to do a better job. The Steelers for a long time have done that, and they've had 3 coaches. They had 3 coaches in the time that we had 20 plus changes in organizations.
Yeah, I don't.
The numbers are ridiculous in that. Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season. So if anybody is going to get Pickett to play much better and kind of control those fumbling issues and, find a way, even with what is considered small hands, find a way to play well, it's not going to be Ben Roethlisberger level. That's not what I'm saying, but good enough to still be in the hunt, and it's not going to be easy to beat them. Too many Cleveland fans, and it's fun to do, But the conversation this whole weekend, when that happened, was like, we truly believe, like I was hearing people and truly believing that they truly believe that we're
I
just
just
going
like
to run
personally,
through it.
you know me,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to have fun and poke fun at them. Like,
The,
but I respect that team like
yeah.
a lot. Like
The
they're
back
very, very well run. They've been doing
Yeah,
it for years and
yeah.
years and years. I don't even think Pickens is going to play this year, to be honest. The
Why'd you bring in
guy I
Trubisky then?
wanted was Trubisky. I think he's going to be the guy starting this year, and good luck trying to take it from him when he gets it going. Because I thought he was going to do really good this year.
Tomlin did tell the NFL Network guys that Pickett has a chance to start day one. So it's going to be a competition. So then it's like Trubisky's coming in there to try to get another starting opportunity to show that the Bears, it was more to the organization than it was the player. He goes to Buffalo, sits behind Josh Allen. Now he gets an opportunity thinking, okay, I can go to the forefront. Big Ben's gone. I feel like I'm better than the guys already there. Josh Jobs is now in Cleveland. So there's not, unfortunately, they don't have as many quarterbacks there. So they're filling up their room. Trubisky feels like I'm the leader. Now I'm going into a competition. I have a feeling the Steelers actually told them they were actually more direct with their conversations than the Browns were with another quarterback, but that's for a later conversation. So Steelers, talk too much about them. Browns, we had to wait until round number 3. What did you think about trading down from 44 all the way into round 3? Not just
really
down.
stunk because there's a couple people I really wanted, and one of them went. Actually, both of them went to our division guys. The linebacker from Michigan went to Baltimore, and I wanted Pickens. But I understand the move. You need to get some more people and you need to get more draft capital. I personally like to take guys high. You're drafting higher up for a reason,
You are drafting higher up, and they wanted to recoup some of their, because they're still analytic based. It's not that they're only analytics like the 1-31 Browns organization was, but they're still analytics. They're information driven, and information tells you still need draft picks to build out your roster, build depth, have young guys that can learn, sit behind the veterans you already have, maybe contribute a little bit from time to time throughout that first season, but come in and when you need the cheaper guys on your roster and you can't hang on to your free agents, well, these guys are ready to step in. That's what the Steelers have done. That's what the Ravens have done. That's what every good team has done. The young guys come in. Look at a guy like Cam Hayward, who is now a stalwart with the Steelers. Someone like that, he got his rookie year. I remember, just because being an Ohio State guy, all the information was always on Twitter about it. He wasn't playing full on snaps, but once his time was ready, he
was ready to go.
He was ready to go, so that's what good organizations are able to do.
The Ohio State does that perfectly.
They do.
I always call it's like, it reminds me of like a shark teeth. Like
Yeah.
when one falls out, boom, there's one ready. Just blink right back up into another one. Another one falls up, boom, another one rolls right into place. They don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, so I'm watching day 2 and I'm getting into it, and then they trade down. I'm like, and I was going to call in and I was going to go onto the Dogs table because they had a great show going. I was enjoying watching that. And apparently a squirrel was pretty ticked off about us trading down because it chewed through our internet cables outside.
Oh, did it really?
I lost all internet, and I stream here. So I'm just like, boom, that's gone. And then I'm watching the Dogs table and it keeps breaking up. And I live in like a dead zone for cell service. So 5G, no, I got like a half a G going right now.
We do too. My grandpa's house is the absolute black hole for service.
Yeah.
If the Wi-Fi is not working, absolute black hole.
So I didn't watch it. I didn't see any of our picks. I'm just watching on here and hoping it would refresh. I'm like, oh, so this is who we're picking. So yeah, the draft was a complete bust for me this time, and I love the draft. I started getting into it, not like I normally do. Like I'll go through all those prospects and stuff, but yeah, this year sucked for me.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I gotta be honest, and you guys may not believe me. I didn't watch a single pick on night number 1. I didn't watch a single minute. Now I may have kept track of some of the Ohio State guys and some of the picks just to know what the division rivals were doing through notifications, but I didn't watch a single thing.
Did you have to work during the draft?
No, not on Thursday.
It was Friday you were working.
We actually, fiance and I, we went out, got some food, and then worked on some line dances and worked on our playlist for the wedding. So got some wedding planning done, and that really helped. Friday I was working, so I saw the draft, but like didn't really see it. So for some reason, the crazy guy that I am, the sports fan that I am, the football fan that I am, I was barely paying attention to the Browns picks on day 3. I was just watching like the whole like 12-7, 4 through 7 rounds, 4 through 7. Just kind of like listening to all the stories and just watching these guys get picked and just having a good moment with their families at home. And we had a couple of those guys, and one that is truly a dog that we will get to in
we'll talk more about the actual players we drafted in the next segment.
We will talk more about the Browns draft picks on the other side, our thoughts on that, and the move that wasn't made. Should it have been? When does it get made? We'll talk about all of that on the other side of this break. This is the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network. We went to break talking NFL draft, maybe our experiences with it. Do our rivals did they get the picks that they should have gotten? We spent way too much time on our division rivals in segment number 1. I'm just going to say that right now. That was an epiphany in that last 40 seconds. So moving on to the Browns, they do trade down, and their first pick does not come until pick number 68 in round number 3, where they were able to pick up Martin Emerson, the cornerback out of Mississippi State. I know he is 6'2", 201 pounds. He was overall ranked. There was many different rankings for him. Pro Football Focus really loved the first 2 picks that the Browns had in the 3rd round. They were ranked very high. Pro Football.
Now everyone
Focus
was a little bit shocked when we drafted him, like a corner. Why are you drafting a corner? But then we end up finding out we're trading Troy Hill, and I'm like, oh, we kind of needed a corner.
Yeah, I mean, you need another corner in that regard if you're going to get rid of Troy Hill, but it's still a deep room, and you still have a lot of guys there. They've seen the injuries in that room, and if you're going to trade away Troy Hill, you needed to get a guy. And if you didn't feel like he was going to be there at one of your other picks, go get him. That's what I don't get about the draft when you say you overdraft a guy. I get it if you're drafting a day 3 guy on day 1 or very early on day 2. But if you're drafting a day 2 guy on day 2 just sooner than you think he's going to, or later on day 2, he goes day 2 before day 3. Like if you don't think by the time you pick next, you're not gonna be able to get this guy,
I don't believe in overdrafts. Like I always, even in
that's why I'm not going to.
I don't call them overdrafts. Who was it? The one time it was Jason Pierre-Paul from New York. They're like, oh my God, that guy's a day 2, maybe day 3 guy. They overdrafted him. They won a couple Super Bowls with that guy.
Yeah,
he did pretty good for the Buccaneers. He's a hell of a player. Dude blew off half his hand and still wreaking havoc in the NFL. Like
depends on situation, work ethic. Like the culture that you're going into, that's what matters more. Can you get the most out of the
people
player?
Are saying overdrafts are people that don't work in the NFL. So you tell me, who knows more, the people working in the NFL, the people outside the NFL?
Yeah. People inside the NFL.
Yeah, that's why they have those jobs. That's why they get paid millions.
Yeah, and I'm not into draft. Like we're draft grade guy. I'm not draft grade guy.
God, I mean, if you're drafting or grading a draft from 3 years ago, yes. Immediately, no, not even a year 1 or 2. You should be doing that. It makes no sense.
Because there's going to be teams that Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, Dane Brugler, all the guys on NFL Network, they're going to grade certain teams like A pluses, and then some of those guys that they are adding into that A plus, they're not going to pan out. They're going to have to find guys to fill that situation 3 years later, 2 years later, even.
A perfect example: the next guy we drafted, Alex Wright. He's
a
project, really, but dude's freakishly athletic. He's humongous. Most likely, we're going to still sign Clowney, and he's going to learn behind Myles Garrett and Clowney. What a great place to learn from. Just like what we were talking about the Steelers, they do. You got to get guys ready. So when Clowney's ready to go, this guy can step up. So why would you grade him now? He's not going to do anything this year.
Right. And I kind of tweeted immediate reaction, like, what are we doing when I'm seeing names I haven't even heard of before? But this is the first year where I haven't dug deeper.
Same here.
into the names. Like I usually know a lot of the names through the first 2 days.
So we apologize if you were coming to us for draft analysts.
Yeah, that's
we
not-
weren't really
that's
into
not-
this year.
That's not going to happen.
Well, one of the things I think would be interesting is to go back a couple years and look at like Mel Kiper's
Yeah,
his mock draft right before
yeah.
the draft,
and go look at their
those
grades
top
and
10.
see.
Well, and look at the top 10 and see,
How, well they
how
did.
those players actually, panned out in the league. Because
No, I don't really
I can
wanna-
think of a few highly drafted quarterbacks that we've had.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that though, because we're going to go back and we're going to find a lot of
That's
Browns
just a
players
glutton
that
for
did-
punishment right there.
that were horrible.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't really want to
I
go
don't
through
go
that.
backwards on drafts. They're scary back then.
So I think the 3 names that really stand out, at least to me and most Browns fans, names or 2 of the names I had heard of before, just kind of watching college football as much as I do. But David Bell, the last pick of their 3rd round, number 99, the wide receiver out of Purdue, has always played well against the Buckeyes. He was the best. He was rated the best wide receiver in the Big Ten. And you had Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson go in the 1st round back to back. You actually had Ohio State wide receivers go back to back. If you consider Jameson Williams. Now, Jameson Williams doesn't consider himself a Buckeye as much as
Didn't we just
Joe
do
Burrow
that not
still
too
does.
long ago too? With the way same consideration with Burrow, Chase, and the corner
Okuda.
Okuda. Yeah,
Yeah. I think there was
But Burrow considered himself a Buckeye still.
yes.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, but we
I'm
did
pretty-
have like 3 in
Yeah.
a row, kind of
It's
same way.
almost
we did
like
this
they
time.
know football down there.
little bit.
I know that there was a time around the national championship where it came out where Jameson Williams said like he doesn't consider himself a Buckeye still, but I know he still talks to those wide
Yeah,
receivers, and there's plenty of pictures of him celebrating with Olave and Wilson. You can't tell which one of them actually scored. So, so it's wide receiver you down in Ohio State, and there's a reason why those guys went back to back to back. For those watching us and not watching the Guardians games, they just win in Oakland 7-3. So they sweep the A's after getting swept in the first 2 series of the road through. So
just
sweep, just one way or the other.
the last week's title just continues on,
It
doesn't
just
it?
continues on. But
Well, I like David Bell.
I
Dude
do.
catches everything,
Yes.
and everyone's like, "Oh, he's not a burner. He's not a burner." I think it's Abby Muller. She tweeted out, "Who is it? Cooper Kupp ran a
4.62.
4.1. Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
really slow. Guess what, dude? Game speed is different than
Yes.
40 speed. Like
Yeah.
this guy is a football player, and he catches everything. I don't know what kind of impact he's going to come in here and make, but I like the pick personally.
Right now, if you're going to make me make projections of any sort, I'm going to say that David Bell has more impact on year 1 than Anthony Schwartz did in year 1 there. As David Bell, as a guy that ran slow at the combine, but is great route runner, catches everything that comes to him, was rated the highest wide receiver in a conference with a lot of great wide receivers last year, versus a guy that does have a lot of straight line speed and is a track guy, but can't run routes and was a project and didn't do anything. Yes, the quarterback play wasn't great all year long, but wide receivers running routes and getting open, there was issues there too. And Schwartz didn't make an impact, wasn't open, wasn't one of those guys that the quarterback was missing because he wasn't getting open. Everybody knew he was straight line speed, and that's easy to defend for a lot of these defenses. So I think David Bell has more impact in year 1 than Anthony Schwartz does, but I do like Anthony Schwartz, and you still got to give him time. Then you go to the beginning of day 3 and pick number 3 of that day. We got an absolute dog. Like there's no.
He's a steal also. Like this
Yes.
guy was rated, I believe some said low first, but 2nd round for sure.
And I know that there was mock drafts with Perrion Winfrey out of Oklahoma, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma, rate like mocked to the Browns at 44 if they would have picked there. He's 6'4", 290 pounds. He was positionally ranked number 4 by ESPN, overall ranked 54. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but it's
He
hard.
became an instant.
Cleveland legend with his opening press conference.
Oh,
through
and the
Zoom.
shirt. The
shirt.
shirt was just great. He had the dogs on the shirt. This dude's ready to go. He is so pumped. Like when you watch this video, I was ready to go play football. I'm like, let's go, baby. Let's go. This guy's ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Well, and the word that he used the entire time is the trigger word or the word of culture that Stefanski wants to build. It's all over Berea right now. Work. I'm coming into work. I'm going to be there every day. I'm going to work till I can't work no more. I'm a dog. I'm coming in to get amped up. I'm running through a wall. Let's get next to Myles Garrett. Let's go. Like, it's hard not to get amped up when you see a guy like that. Now, a common mantra on this show You can't just talk about it. You got to
gotta
be about it. He's shown that he's about it in college. You got to make the transition to the NFL. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. I think he can be about it, though, with Perrion Winfrey. So a good pick there. And then
your guy.
I mean, it's not my guy.
Hey, that's your guy. Anytime the Browns take a soccer player, that's your guy, buddy.
Okay, so Matt Fontana of ESPN Cleveland, when Cade York was picked in the 4th round by the Browns, what pick was that? That was pick number, it was the 19th pick in the 4th round. They don't have the exact pick number here on the ESPN rundown, but when he was kind of the name that I saw most often, and he was the highest rated. He kicked the 57-yard field goal through the fog to upset when LSU was having a terrible year. Florida was ranked number 6. He upsets Florida kicking that 57-yard field goal, 14 or 15 and 19 from 50 plus yards. Soft-spoken kid, but
he said something that just I absolutely loved.
What?
And they're like, how do you like to kick in pressure? And he said, pressure is a privilege. And I'm like, all right, I'm sold. This is my guy.
Well, you and I were texting about that, though. And we said, you got to team up with Phil Dawson and learn about the Dawson flag.
Exactly.
The Phil flag in one of the end zones for how
and
the
Browns,
winds swirl.
Don't bring him to training camp. I need those guys kicking down at the stadium. We don't need them in Berea. Don't do them any good practicing there. They need to learn every angle of what this wind's like all the time in that stadium. Please. I know if one of you guys are listening, I'm imploring you.
Well, if the Browns start listening to us, they're going to be sitting with us.
I'd welcome sitting in here with
we're going to go with cliches and mantras today. It's, once professional teams start listening to the fans, they start sitting with the fans. So
let's just hope this kid can come in and fill the void that Phil Dawson left when he left.
I mean, I know you said he's my guy. Like Fontana tweeted out the quote that he was, when he was in his Zoom, that he's a former soccer player. Like, you had me a former soccer player,
exactly.
right there. So, of course, I took advantage of that and tried to get some plug on my social media, Kevin and Seven, by retweeting the kick I made last year for the draft experience. It was a very close kick. I will say that. I know I could have made it from further, not 60 like you were saying under the right circumstances.
I said, under the right circumstances. I didn't say if there was 20 miles an hour winds to your back, but
in that instance, I actually regretted not being the one to put my name in from the soccer team to kick for the football team in high school. But everything works out for a reason, and I'm here. I'm going to try to be behind a microphone now. I'm not trying to kick footballs and get my head blasted
you could have
been.
We could have won a few more games last year if you were there, Kevin.
Well, maybe. I've even some of the close ones probably. Just kick it. Just kick it straight. So, I mean, the Browns did what they could do with the picks they had. They don't pick until the 3rd round.
Were you shocked that they made all the picks, really? I was. I thought they were going to
didn't they?
Move a lot of them into next year, to be honest with you.
Because
I was shocked they also, like I said, we took a running back, which he's a good running back. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, that's a guy that's kind of Kareem Hunt-esque, I guess. Demetric Felton. So if Demetric leaves, doesn't want to sign his tender and still leaves, or with
that would have been Dearness Johnson has the tender.
Dearness Johnson, excuse me. If he leaves with the tender or not wanting to sign that and wants to leave, then you got your 4th running back again. You have room still full with talented guys, or Hunt's on his last year of this contract.
Yeah, because I doubt they're going to want to play
practice
a third
squad guy,
string running back. I think like $2 million that he's owed.
Yeah. Plus, they're moving Felton into the running back room solely this year. They said that during the player personnel people said during press conferences during the draft that Demetric Felton,
friend of show,
is going to be taken. Yeah, friend of show. Friend of big fan of Marvel, big fan of Star Wars, especially Book of Boba Fett. We were talking about that. We got to try to get him back on. Yeah. But he's moving from the wide receiver room to the running back room. Yeah. So, I mean, that's 4 running backs right there. One of them leaves.
That's my prediction for the running back room. I think Dearness Johnson's going to be the odd one out. Loved him. I think he's going to do fantastic somewhere.
I mean, that's a guy I'll root for.
He's a starter, dude.
That's a guy that if he leaves the team, I'll still root for, because his story and, just what he was able to do and stepping in when we went through injuries and stuff like that. That's
tough to be behind Chubb and Hunt.
In that kind of room, that is a tough thing to do. So you get a couple young guys in Felton, and the kid out of Cincinnati, if Felton leaves, you still got a pretty decent room, and you got the two best backs, the best kind of tandem backfield in all of the NFL, and Hunt and Chubb. So we are going to step aside for a break. We are going to switch gears a little bit. We are going to bring in our guest, Ed Ruper, interim director of the U.S. Amateur Golf Tour here in the Cleveland and Akron area. We will bring him in on the other side of this break to talk a little bit of golf. We haven't talked golf before, but we all kind of watch it, and we're all kind of into it or in some sort of way. So I think this will be
my goal to learn how to golf this year.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get some tips on best ways to learn how to do that from Ed as well. So you are tuned in to the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network. Kevin Arnold alongside Always Positive Jay and Audio, our producer, and we are so honored and happy to be joined now by the new interim director of the U.S. Amateur Golf Tour for the Cleveland and Akron area, Ed Ruper. Thank you so much for taking some time tonight, Ed, to join us, kind of promote the league and things. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
So before we get into the golf, we were kind of talking about draft before we got into this. You know, who's your team and what was your kind of assessment of your team's draft?
Well, I was sitting here because you're going to laugh. 34 years we've had season tickets to the Steelers in my family. So I was listening to Jay talk about Pickett. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here and laugh, but I get it. So
I think I'm
very happy with the pick.
The rivalry between us is most of the fun to me. I love messing with each other. As long as you take it and have fun with it, you don't make it personal and you just playful jabs with each other, I'm cool with that. Like growing up, my dad's from Michigan, so the Ohio State Michigan rivalry in my family is just hilarious.
Well, I've had friends who have gone to games with me in Pittsburgh. They love the atmosphere. They love the organization. As you said, it's kind of respectful the way that they ran it, and I think that's what's really contributed to the success all these years. But I'm glad to see the rivalry back. I mean, I was one of the people rooting for the Browns to come back when they left. I hate the Ravens just as much as you guys.
All right.
So again, I'm glad the rivalry is back.
It's always better when both teams kind of have the competitive ability to compete for division championships, things like that, and have the culture that the Steelers have had for so many years and what the Browns are trying to build. That rivalry that I was brought up on and taught the history of, like, it. I never got to experience that until a couple years ago with that playoff game, and now over the last couple years. So like it's good to go back and forth, but kind of talking with Paulus and of course your son Mark, through the fantasy leagues, I had a feeling you guys were all Steelers fans, so I was kind of like trying to temper it. I want to be respectful to our guests too,
What do you think about Pickens?
I'm happy overall with their draft. My son Mark, as you just mentioned, he was really worried about the Steelers picking up Malik and said he was pacing while the Steelers were on the clock. So he was glad to see him get Pickett, and obviously a good wide receiver in Pickens. So
that's the guy I wanted.
Again, they
that
kind
hurt.
of improved themselves a little bit. So yeah. Again, you guys make a good you make a good argument. There's literally a generation of children who have never seen the Browns be good and see this rivalry. So again, it's good to see it back and to see it thriving.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if we beat you guys for 10 years that'd be okay with me. Yeah. I'd still call it a rivalry if we had a little and then we started evening out.
Yeah, we're trying to get
that's what happens when you draft a Hall of Fame quarterback that gives you 2 Super Bowls. So
out of our backyard. out of our backyard.
Exactly.
You have no
exactly.
idea. That was another one that just hurt me so bad. I wanted Ben. Like, I was so stoked, and then you guys took him. I just wanted to cry.
Our rivals always.
Okay, I could take up this whole segment, guys. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Our rivals have always seemed to draft out of our backyard, and we didn't want to do that. So we don't want to go back down that road, like we said earlier. We're not going back down any sort of punishment road of being Browns fans throughout our history. So, but we do have
the
you on.
future is bright.
Yes, it is. So we do have you on to talk golf, and of course, being the new interim director of the U.S. Amateur Tour here in the Cleveland and Akron area. Now, I know you've been involved with the sport for 13 years, but speak more to, for people that don't know, what is that U.S. Amateur Tour, and how do guys get on to that golf tour?
Well, sure. We are a nationwide tour, the largest amateur tour in the country. We have over 6,700 members across 45 cities. You can go to usamtour.com. There's a registration process where you become a member of the tour. And what you do is that actually makes you eligible to play in any tournament across the country. We have 6 divisions under 50 and 6 over 50, where you play basically within your handicap group, gross scores for winning. And you're competing toward, if you're familiar with the FedEx Cup, I kind of equate it to the FedEx Cup. You play in tournaments for points, and then the points come back to your local tour. And there's many iterations that allow you to qualify for our national championship, which is a 4-round tournament. This year, we're going to be at Paiute in Las Vegas. Fabulous facility if you've ever played desert golf, but great facility beginning of October. So again, you just become a member, and you sign up to your handicap group, and again, start playing golf.
And I know, like we were just talking about, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, but I know you guys are working in conjunction with Pittsburgh right now as you're kind of getting into the role and kind of getting feet wet with your responsibilities. What have you guys kind of scheduled together, or how is that connection kind of been, and how has it maybe helped amp up the tour a little bit?
Well, we tried to schedule ourselves because we're such close proximity, we weren't scheduling tournaments on the same week. So we tried to alternate our schedule so that some people from Pittsburgh could come to Cleveland and vice versa. For example, last week we had our first tournament. We were Chippewa. We had 45 participants, and I would say probably about a third of them came over from Pittsburgh. So again, we try to support each other. One of the tournaments we're playing the beginning of June. We're going to Latrobe Country Club in Pittsburgh, or near Pittsburgh, which is the home of Arnold Palmer. That's going to be a very popular tournament. Again, we had a lot of people from Cleveland go over last year, and doesn't surprise me if we won't see a number of people go over there to Cleveland this year.
And I mean, and getting to go to venues like that, I mean, the home of Arnold Palmer, what other type of venues are maybe you most excited for this year, or that you've gotten to experience in connection with the tour, even yourself, that you kind of have that extra energy to them, or that extra history to them, that are so you're kind of proud to say that you got a chance to go to that golf course?
Well, we have what's called 2-day majors, which is essentially a double points for people when you play. And we've already had tournaments at TPC Sawgrass. We've been at Kiowa. We will be doing a 2-day major in Ohio, our first one, where we're playing Avalon Lakes, which is where the LPGA used to play. And actually myself, you mentioned Longhorns here. I got Longhorns on. I'm from San Antonio. I'm going to TPC San Antonio the 3rd week of May. So I'll be there visiting family and playing that course. So I'm excited about that. I personally played TPC Sawgrass. We've been at PGA National, PGA West, TPC Scottsdale. So we play, Pinehurst. How could I forget Pinehurst? We play some fabulous courses in regards to where the pros play. And that's really what excites me about this tour, is the fact that you can go and play these same courses. And that means a lot to me, because especially when I'm watching on TV, you see a guy in the middle of the fairway. My wife will say, "Oh, do you recognize that hole?" I'll say, "No, I wasn't in the fairway of that hole, so I don't really recognize it." Okay, I'm usually left or right. So, but I do recognize the layout of the hole. I just don't play it like the pros do.
Now, have you guys had anyone from your tournament make the jump to the pros?
I can't say that I've known of anyone. Now, I do know, if you recognize the name Russell Knox from the tour, his dad plays on our tour. So I've played with him a couple times, Mike Knox. So it's really neat that there are some pro players' dads that are on our tour.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So, and with the players on the tour, I mean, is there still an avenue to do that? I know you haven't seen anyone or know of anyone that's made the jump, but is there that avenue to kind of be picked up? Is there any eyes from the PGA or some of the professional tours that these guys could get that opportunity?
Well, if you play in the championship portion of our tour, which is a 0-4 handicap, we've had guys that have shoot under par. So you never know. That could be a stepping stone to the Corn Ferry Tour, maybe to get yourself started, and then a stepping stone to the pros if you're good enough to play there.
Now, speaking of kind of getting started, to kind of, I guess, rewind all the way back to getting started in golf in general. Like I said, I know you've been involved for 13 years. For guys like us that haven't had an opportunity to golf, I know my family wasn't into it, even though I had golf clubs passed down from my grandfather. My 31 years, I've never seen my grandfather golf in a single day in that lifetime. So what would you say is the best way for a person that really wants to get in the sport? What is the best pathway, whether affordable or maybe paying a little bit more money, to really get in the sport and try to take it up?
Well, first thing is obviously get yourself a set of nice clubs. Now, you can go to Golf Galaxy and different places like that. They have used clubs. I believe Second Swing is another place that you go. Buy yourself a set of clubs. And then with the mass of media that you can watch, just start watching some people with golf swings in the social media. There's a lot of places. Golf Digest does stuff. Golf Pass is another one where you can watch online lessons and then just kind of develop a swing and understand a little bit how to play. Once you get into that, if you want to get a little more serious, then you start talking about going to lessons. When I first started, I bought a set of golf clubs at a garage sale. And, I had some friends that were playing, so it was just a way for me to learn how to play. I was playing softball with a lot of friends, suffered an injury, and figured I need to start playing something where I can't injure myself as much. And that's why I ended up taking up golf.
That's the reason.
Took some lessons.
That's the reason I'm starting golf. I tore my Achilles playing golf or softball last year. I got arthritis in my shoulder, and the doctor said, if you still want to play sports, take up golf. It's a natural swing on your arm, so it doesn't hurt so bad. It won't hurt your knees. Yep. You'll be outside exercising, walking, and enjoying yourself. He goes, trust me, you'll love it.
I pulled a hamstring playing softball when I was younger. That's the first time I'd ever injured myself. And same thing. It was okay. I don't like this feeling. I got to play something that, like you said, get yourself outside, get to hang out with your buddies. And, I really enjoyed it. I started taking it up seriously, probably about 10 or 15 years after that, and then went into competition. So I've been competing, as you mentioned, probably about 13, 14 years. I've done a lot of things. I've won a lot of tournaments. And my goal was to take over this tour. I know the kind of product that I wanted, and that's the kind of product that I want to deliver to my players and my members. So that's why I have a passion for it. I have a number of players who have come to me and are excited about the fact that I'm taking over. And they've all said the same thing. I'm going to be very successful. And again, just looking for ways to build the tour.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get a live show. We'll come out to one of your tours around here. That'd be awesome.
You know what? Love to have you guys. You can see what our tournaments are. I mentioned we played Chippewa last week. We're going to be at Hawk's Nest, Greyhawk, the Quarry, and then Sleepy Hollow. Forgot to mention them. And then for our tour championship, we will be at Firestone, the Fazio course.
Oh, wow.
The players love to go out there. Firestone's a beautiful facility. They've always treated us well. And we'll continue to go out there as long as they'll have us.
Well, we're testing out our first remote broadcast here in a couple weeks, so we'll kind of see how that goes, and we definitely want to stay in touch. Now, I do have a couple more questions for you, Ed, before we get you out of here, and I want to make sure I close out with the tour because that is the main focus of the conversation and making sure we're helping promote the U.S. Amateur Tour here in Cleveland and Akron area that you are now the interim director for it. We are joined by Ed Ruper, the interim director of that tour. And before we get back into the tour, just a real quick, if you can help or not, my fiance and I, we go to Top Golf all the time, just kind of, swinging off of a tee. I have no training in swinging a driver or anything like that. I know I'm swinging more so like a baseball bat, swinging down the golf ball, like keeping that front arm more straight. What is the key to that, or, kind of getting that muscle memory, that front arm straight to kind of hit it straight and not curling off to the right every single time to the net or maybe some other bays at Top Golf?
Well, that's your swing path. And one of the things that I always like to tell people is people think the golf swing is an arm swing, and it's really not. It's more of a shoulder swing. So if you make sure you're making a good shoulder turn, a lot of times you'll hear teachers tell you, get your left shoulder to your chin. Then you're turning your body away from it, and then you're using more of your body for the swing than your arms. So what's happening is you're using your arms a lot. It's coming from an angle across the ball, creating spin, and that's why you have the ball going off to the right, or as you just mentioned, to the other base. Not that I've ever done that, but it does happen. It's just starting out, just kind of the initial cracks at, but definitely want to take up the game. And I think that's one of our goals. And I know Jay, even Peter, our producer, that's kind of like our goal this summer, is trying to, maybe try to play at least 9 at some point during the golf season here in Northeast Ohio. Now, getting back to the tour to kind of close things out with you, and we do appreciate you coming on tonight, Ed. Is kind of coming in as the director, what do you want our audience, just the audience in general, to know about the tour, your goals to help improve it, and where can just kind of tell people where people can connect online and on social media? So my goal is to grow the tour, try to grow at 10% every year. We're currently at 70 active members. So my goal is to try to get to 77. My overall goal is to get to 100. And it's shows like you, guys like you, that help support us, allow us to get the message out. Again, going to usamtour.com, you can read about the registration process, and from there, we'll get you started in the tour. I reach out to all new members as soon as I see somebody sign up. I reach out to them, see if they have any questions, and let them know that I'm here to help them.
And I know that on Twitter, if people want to follow, especially what's going on with the tour as well, at Cleveland_tour, we have the Twitter tagged in our title here tonight with the Voice of Land at VTL_pod. But where can they follow or find more information on any other social media sites as well, with links to the website, usamtour.com?
Well, we do have US Am Tour Cleveland and Instagram and Twitter. And from there, we do have links to the national website from there. So we're always posting about where we're playing, our winners. People can go out and see our winners from last week at Chippewa. And again, we're just kind of broadcasting the message as much as we can. So that's really been one of the things that I've been trying to do this year, to really get the message out.
Before we let you go, I got to ask you a question. A few weeks ago at work, we had I wouldn't say heated, but just a real intense debate on who's the greatest golfer ever. And the young kids say one thing, the older guys say another. And it's pretty much between Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. If you have someone other than that,
Arnold Palmer throwing into that, yeah.
Who is the greatest golfer in your opinion?
Ben Snead.
Well, I'm personally going to go with Jack, and I'm just going to say is
all right,
because when he did it, the equipment was different, the competition was different. And I don't want to take anything from Tiger. I mean, a great player, great athlete, but a whole different era. So I'm going to lean toward Jack in that instance.
I always said he has the most majors, but the thing that people that overlook is how many times he came in second place for majors.
Correct.
Tiger's not even close to him. It's insane. I think it's like 17 or something, like 22, something.
Yeah, it is. It is incredible.
Yeah, he was an Ohio State guy. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah, I'm still a little salty over that game that we lost to years and years ago, and I couldn't remember the quarterback's name, so I had to get an Ohio State jab at you at one point. Kevin just,
Of course you did.
Kevin just puts up with me here.
I was going to say before you trying to take more jabs on our guest that as a young person, Tiger Woods is the guy that got me to watch the game of golf and then interested in it. But I pride myself on trying to go back to learn the history of a sport to really understand it, and watching some of the, the highlights and things that are out there that you can see and learn about Jack Nicklaus. I mean, just the utmost respect for the guys that came before, and the guys that are trying to take golf to the next level right now, and especially on the US Am Tour. Well, Ed, we can't thank you enough for coming on tonight. Maybe in a couple months, either try to get out to a tour event, or at least have you on and kind of update where things stand, where the tour is growing to, how the tournaments have been going. We'd love to have you come back on at some point here in the
love to do all that. And if you guys are interested in 9 holes, you know how to get a hold of me.
For sure.
Happy to come out with you sometime.
Just make sure there's a lot of woods and not a lot of houses when we come out.
Yeah, especially if I'm
I can pick those up for you.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm hitting people in bays at
Yeah.
Top Golf. So, Ed, we really appreciate the conversation. I really appreciate your time coming on tonight. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And that is Ed Ruper, the interim director of the U.S. Amateur Tour here in the Cleveland and Akron area, and of course, combining with the Pittsburgh area as well. So make sure you check them out, usamtour.com, USAM Tour Cleveland across Twitter and Instagram. If you search, you'll find their pages and get all that information. We're going to hit our final break of the night. On the other side, we will have a little bit of fun.
It's going to get a little strange.
It's going to get a little strange.
Someone
on the
might
other
need to
side.
call a doctor.
Yep, someone might need to call a doctor for sure. On the other side of the break, this is the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back one final time this Sunday night, May 1st. Wow, we're in the month of May already. It is wedding month already.
We got 40th birthdays.
40th birthday for you, wedding, 50th birthday for Audio's wife. And
who's an actual
was I not
woman?
supposed to say
She's
that?
actual real person.
I don't know.
I mean, I know you're trying to plan something special for her. So
I am, and
we'll keep all that at least on the.
Yeah, well, she doesn't listen to the show, so
okay. Well, then can't get in trouble. But if she does, it's actually her 30th birthday, not her 50th.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
I misspoke. I put the wrong number in the front there. So, but this week it's a big week for Marvel fans everywhere. I know we talked about that we were going to talk more football about a certain quarterback. Well, we got plenty of time to do that because apparently he's going to be on this roster for a while. So
yeah,
and we're not the type of people that continuously bash or want to talk this ad nauseum all the time. It is part of our jobs as professionals, and people call us professionals doing this.
May have muted all the words to deal with Baker Mayfield on Twitter.
May or may not have as well, because the conversation is just getting ridiculous. And even in this sort of setting, it's just it's every single time, whether it's the statue or whatever it might be, it's just a chance for people to take shots. And we're making a guy that's maybe immature and talking too much on podcasts and social media. We're making him out to be like this horrible person when the NFL continuously gives second, third, fourth chances to guys that do commit
horrible acts.
Horrible acts. And we have a quarterback here now that is accused of that. I'm not saying he's guilty, and I'm not saying, innocent until proven guilty. We believe in the justice system here. But again, the baggage is a little heavier with Deshaun Watson than Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield's talked about more and made out to be a worse person than Deshaun Watson. Or
that's what happens when you're a lightning rod for attention.
So that's about a minute of that, and then we're gonna push that to the side. We did our job, and now we're moving on.
There's Baker Mayfield.
Moving on to Marvel fans and the big movie this week. Well, I guess on Wednesday you get the final episode of Moon Knight. I don't know if you guys have been watching that.
Yes.
I'm confused as hell.
Yes.
Every single night.
I haven't watched any of it.
I'm just going to tell you, you're going to be confused as hell.
Okay.
So you gotta. I'll send you the breakdown videos. I'm not longer confused. I had to watch stuff to like get an idea of what was going on, but I think you're supposed to be confused because he's confused. Is what they're doing.
Yeah.
too.
Okay. Because I kind of hate that. I hate that when I watch a show and I'm like, what the hell happened there? And I do. There are some shows, I can't think of one right off the top of my head though, where I'm like, I do have to go online. I have to be like, explain the ending to me because I'm a little
The
thick,
Matrix is probably one of those.
Now I'll wait for you to send me those explanation videos until after we all see Doctor Strange, because sometimes those explanation videos, since it's all like chronological, sometimes they get into theories of how it's.
No, they're pretty good actually at keeping it at Moonlight.
Okay.
They're good. I'll show you.
All right.
But I'm pumped, dude.
Doctor Strange comes out on Friday. Do you guys have? Does anybody have
Yes,
tickets?
I have tickets. I don't know what day we're going on this weekend or what time, but
May 6th at 8 p.m.
Yes.
we
Did you get IMAX though?
Did not. We don't.
Well, they said that like this
IMAX
movie's
people.
filmed in IMAX, so like there's stuff that you're gonna see cut out of the screen if you don't go see it. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta go get an IMAX. I got talked into spending more money.
See, I mean, Jana deals with, she has
It's
migraines.
still
Like
gonna
I
be
deal with the
awesome.
headaches.
You're not gonna miss any of the story
No,
if it's
like,
not. But
I'm not gonna know what I'm not seeing cut out. Like I don't really notice that all the time when there is like an IMAX centric type movie. I don't. If I go to the standard version of it, I don't ever notice that.
But
I do
you
have
had
an
a
issue,
rant.
though.
I gotta hear.
Issue,
I wanted to hear this. He saved it for the show.
I have an issue with. It's not with Doctor Strange.
It's
It might be with Marvel, but I love Marvel to the point where this rant would never, I would never reduce my fandom in any sort of way. I don't know if it's Marvel that put this out or it's the fans that are social media creators that have gotten to see clips or parts of the movie already or know what's going on. There's plenty of people on TikTok and Twitter that are posting videos like, oh, well, as a content creator, I got to see the first 20 minutes of the movie. This is what we learned. I don't want to know that. No spoilers, please. That's what that was the whole lead up to Infinity War and Endgame. Like that's our mantra on this show. There's been a show of mantras. No spoilers, please. If we see the movie, we will not talk about the movie on here.
That's why we all talk about it today because we don't know anything about it.
They released a clip from the movie.
What, like a 2-minute clip?
Something like that. Why?
Which I watched. I can't help it.
I didn't, but just scrolling through Twitter because I'm trying to be a professional. I'm trying to keep up with the information in the draft so that we have the content we need on the show. There's a still from the clip that spoils something that, now shows me why one of the shows on Disney Plus now ties in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The movie clip was just a one part of that movie. And then like there was another trailer that you're talking about, which we won't talk about to not spoil, but yes, I saw that too. And it made me really excited, but that's why they do that.
So if the still
suckers like me that are like, oh my God. And then they have to go like watch the breakdown of all this stuff and get into it.
All right. So if the still I saw wasn't from the trailer, I still have an issue that there's a clip out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anything. That's why I
think it's movies in general. They over trailer everything.
Yes.
Like they give way too much away.
Spider-Man No Way Home. I know that people broke it down, but you could clearly see that the lizard is being kicked by something and nothing's touching him.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to go slow-mo to see that. So now we're doing too much trailers with a company that wants to keep everything secret. Just let me experience it firsthand when the movie releases, when I have my tickets on opening weekend to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, any other Marvel movie or TV show, whatever it is. Let me have my goosebump. I am Iron Man moment and Portal's opening moment. Let me have that, please.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
That was the calmest way to answer that, too.
I'll just have to agree with you. But yes, I get what you're saying, and I hear you. And I know there are some things like I'm glad I know about too. Like, spoiler alert, if you don't watch the previews and all that stuff.
Okay, wait. If you're going to do a spoiler right now, if you're watching right now or you're listening on the audio, Google, Spotify, Apple, or you are watching us back at VT_pod, Facebook Voice of the Land, Big Play page, YouTube, wherever it is. 3, 2, 1, go.
The Illuminati. I am pumped to see the Illuminati.
You mean like Kyrie Irving's Illuminati?
No. Like the Marvel Illuminati with all these people. Like more so Professor X, in that there's going to be mutants now. This is like the official, I think, first time there's going to be mutants in the MCU.
Right. And I'm expecting things from different universes to come in. Like we just got the whole Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. We got the meme. We got the pointing of the finger. We got all 3 Spider-Men. That moment was dashed for me because of all these people that were putting these theories out there or had some sort of inkling. I've done a better job of scrolling through and muting things now, just like I have with football and sports terms on social media. But like I don't knock the hustle. Like these people are trying to create a career that is now the avenue of social media, but just
Kevin,
take a step back or something. I
thought you would have been so excited about the Illuminati because you know who's in the Illuminati, don't you?
Yes, but what I'm saying is
your favorite character is in the Illuminati.
I understand, but what I'm saying,
he's back, Kevin.
All right, stop it.
I'm trying to get you excited.
I am excited. I want to be excited. Like I want that, that big moment that they have put in the movie for a reason. I want that to be a genuine, natural reaction. And then I'll come on this show and tell you in a very general term what I thought about the movie. I will not spoil it for anybody because I want others to experience what I'm getting. I love the Marvel movies and what they have been able to do. I love the Star Wars movies. I love all that kind of stuff. I'm not the Oscar worthy movie guy. I'm the summer blockbuster movie guy. And summer blockbuster.
I mean, you don't want to watch Shape of Water?
No.
Neither do I.
No.
I don't think anybody wants to watch Shape of Water except for people that work for the Oscars.
I could put water in a cup and then it's shaped like a cup. I don't know. But I want the essence of summer the blockbuster movies of the summer where they're giving you these big moments and these surprising moments. I want that naturally. I get all the theories. I get all the content. I will watch some of it. But if you know something, keep it to yourself till a bunch of people can see it.
Like I was just talking about with Iron Man. No one's confirmed that. It's just like, I know that he's supposed to be in that.
Right. And like, I know.
And if I just want to ask you, if there is, and I have no idea, I'm not that great at all as breaking down videos, but I'm just heard that an Iron Man is supposed to be in this. And he's not the Iron Man that we grew up like watching. And it's a new actor. Is that going to be weird to you? That's the only thing I was questioning. Like I was wondering, that dude was so perfect for that role. How do you replace him? It's almost irreplaceable.
Will it be weird? Maybe, but like I want all of the craziness. That's
where I think our shocks are going to come from, like who are playing these roles, and I think you're going to have all kinds of crazy cameos that they haven't even showed in here. Like I think they showed a lot, but they're also still good at shocking us too.
Go ahead and ask me what you think. I think I'm going to feel if that happens.
How are you going to feel if that happens?
I'll let you know if you actually sit in the same movie theater that I am, and I will let you know because I will be the loudest person experiencing
He's back.
He's alive. I have pissed off many friends because when I'm at movies like that and it's the premiere weekend, I am not quiet. My reactions are there. I'm not the only one in the movie theater, but somehow I get all the flack for it. There's plenty of other people that are as excited as me that are reacting to what you're supposed to. There's videos on Twitter of when the portals opened, like after the movie was out, Endgame was out for several months. There's plenty of videos of
where everyone clapped.
Yeah, like you could hear.
That's what happened in my theater.
That's the type of theater I want to be.
Or when Captain America grabbed the hammer and grabbed it for the first time, they were like, "Oh!" Everyone went crazy. Yeah, I'm the same way.
See, if I don't go on opening weekend, I'm not with those people.
Yeah.
And I'm in like a quiet movie theater. I'm the only one like, oh my gosh, shut up, you.
You're that guy.
I can't keep quiet, man. I can't keep. That's why my mom says I talk too much. So
hey, you're in the perfect profession.
Yep. But we talk too much now because we're 3 minutes over our time limit. So we will end it there. We won't go too much into it because we haven't seen the movie. We can't talk much about it. We'll have off camera conversations about it. We do want to, before we leave, we do want to thank our guest tonight, Ed Ruper, the interim director of the U.S. Amateur Tour here in the Cleveland and Akron area, working with the Pittsburgh elements as well. They are growing 70 in town. We're going to talk to them in a couple months. I want to see how big the tour has been able to grow, because I know that there's a lot of golfers that would be interested in this area. Go ahead and go over to usamtour.com or find them on social media here in the Cleveland area, US Am Tour. If you just put in the search bar, USAM Tour Cleveland, you will find their Twitter and Instagram pages. So for our guest tonight, Ed Ruper, for my partner in crime on the other side of the table, Always Positive Jay, and our AI system audio producing the show tonight, doing a great job. I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you sports fans, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all 3,000, as our man Iron Man and his daughter told each other in Endgame. And as our late great friend Mike Allen always used to say, all gas, no brakes. We will see you all next week on another edition of The Voice of the Land right here on the Big Play Network.